Imagine this. One night, you have a strange dream. Everything in the dream is vivid down to every detail. The setting, the sounds, even your emotions feel real. Then, a few days later, as you're going about your normal life, you suddenly find yourself standing in that exact same place. Everything happens just as it did in your dream. Not a single detail is out of place. It's like you've stepped straight into a vision your mind saw while you were deep asleep. What would you think? Is it just a random coincidence, or a warning, a cryptic signal sent from the future? You're not a prophet. You don't have psychic powers or a sixth sense. You're just an ordinary person, like everyone else. But one night, you dream of standing on an old iron bridge under the dim glow of streetlights. In that dream, a strange man walks to the edge of the bridge and suddenly falls into the dark, freezing water below. You don't get a clear look at his face, but the splash of the water, the flickering light, and the heavy feeling of unease haunt you even after you wake up. Days later, you're walking and pass by a bridge that looks eerily familiar. A chill runs down your spine, and then it happens. A man falls into the river. Same spot, same time, same exact details from your dream. That moment leaves you frozen in place. Was it fate, or did your mind slip through an invisible crack in time and glimpse the future? Stories like this are not rare. All around the world, thousands of people have shared similar experiences, prophetic dreams where time no longer feels like a straight line. They dream of accidents, meet strangers they've never seen before, even feel joy or sorrow that hasn't happened yet. And then, it all unfolds just as they dreamed. As if their minds had traveled beyond the present, touching something that had not yet arrived. What's really happening in these kinds of dreams? Are we simply witnessing the brain's random firings as it rests? Or is there a mysterious mechanism at work, one that allows the soul to briefly escape the physical world and take a glimpse into the future? Could dreams be an ancient language of the universe, where past, present, and future blend into one? Since ancient times, humans have believed that dreams are messages from the divine. Civilizations like Egypt, Greece, and Babylon left behind detailed records of dream prophets, people said to have the power to see what lies ahead. In the Bible, Joseph's dream saved Egypt from famine. In Eastern cultures, dreams are often seen as omens, messages from ancestors, or signs of fate. Today, science has yet to fully explain this mystery. But in fields like neuroscience and modern psychology, some researchers are beginning to explore the idea that the human brain might be able to receive and process information beyond the limits of linear space and time. Perhaps our subconscious, while dreaming, operates under laws that logic and reason have yet to understand. And it's at that fragile boundary between science and spirituality where these strange stories keep emerging. Witnesses, ordinary people like you, describe the chilling realization that they had dreamed of a future they hadn't yet lived. A future their soul seems to have already walked through. Since ancient times, humanity has been fascinated by dreams, those hazy images that appear when the mind releases its grip on reality. In ancient Egyptian civilization, dreams were not seen as chaotic fragments of thought, but as sacred messages from the divine realm. To the Egyptians, sleep was a time when the soul left the body and journeyed into the invisible world, a realm where the gods sent warnings, guidance, or glimpses of the future. The pharaoh, the king, believed to be the living embodiment of the gods, would never make an important decision without first understanding the meaning of his dreams. These dreams were carefully interpreted by specially appointed priests, as if every detail carried layers of metaphysical meaning. To them, dreams were gateways between the human world and the sacred, a divine tool through which the gods could intervene in the course of human history. In ancient Greece, dreams continued to hold a central place in both spiritual life and philosophy. One of the earliest figures to systematize the study of dreams was Artemidorus, a renowned philosopher and scholar. His work, Oneirocritica, translated as The Art of Dream Interpretation, was a vast collection of knowledge, classifications, and interpretations of dreams, divided into three levels: physiological dreams, born from bodily reactions; psychological dreams, reflecting emotions and the subconscious; and prophetic dreams, in which glimpses of the future are revealed through metaphysical intervention. To Artemidorus, Dreams were more than just reflections of the inner self. They were messages with predictive power, a flash of divine insight piercing through the darkness of destiny. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, dreams once again prove their power as instruments that shape history. The story of Joseph in the Bible is a vivid testament to this. The man who was sold into slavery became the very one chosen by God to interpret the strange dreams of Pharaoh. Through this divine gift, Joseph accurately foretold 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of famine, allowing Egypt to prepare in advance and survive a catastrophic food crisis. In that moment, the dream was no longer a personal night vision. It became a turning point in the destiny of an entire nation. From the sun-drenched fields of Egypt to the philosophical forums of ancient Greece, to the sacred scriptures passed down through generations, dreams have always held a sacred place. They are the whispered voice of the divine, the subtle messages sent from the invisible world to the finite hearts of men. Perhaps, in those quietest moments of the long night, when the body sinks into sleep, our souls briefly slip out of the cycle of the present, just long enough to listen to echoes from another dimension, a place untouched by logic, yet unmistakably recognized by the heart. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist who pioneered the concept of the collective unconscious, once said that dreams are the mirror of the human soul. In his view, dreams are not just random images flashing across the mind during sleep, but subtle clues that help us decode the self. Unhealed wounds, suppressed desires, and ancient symbols buried deep within humanity's collective psyche. Jung believed that every dream is a key, a metaphorical message meant to guide us toward deeper self-understanding. Yet even after a lifetime devoted to studying dreams, he admitted that not all dream experiences can be explained by psychology alone. Some dreams defy analytical models, as if they come from a metaphysical source, another layer of reality. There are dreams that seem prophetic, or that exist outside the bounds of linear time, Jung once wrote. Such dreams are not merely reflections of the mind. They appear to be glimpses through a hidden doorway, offering us a brief look into a world where time no longer moves in a straight line from past to future. In that realm, all moments may coexist, an unspeakable still point where the soul drifts freely, beyond the limits of body and reason. Today, while modern science has yet to offer a definitive answer, it has begun to acknowledge astonishing cases of dreams that align with the future. Stories of people dreaming about accidents, wars, or the passing of a loved one before these events actually occurred have led many scientists to revisit long-standing assumptions. Some researchers in neuroscience, quantum physics, and even information theory are now proposing bold hypotheses that the human subconscious might be able to access a layer of information beyond physical space and time. They suggest the existence of a unified information field, a dimension where all possibilities in the universe exist simultaneously. And during dreams, particularly in the REM phase, when brain activity peaks and the subconscious dominates our awareness, might function like a radio, tuning into different frequencies of reality. If this hypothesis is true, then dreams are no longer random biological phenomena. They become a bridge between the physical body and the soul, between our bounded present and a realm where time is fluid and undefined. Perhaps in deep sleep, we are still living, moving, observing, and feeling things that haven't happened yet, as if the soul had taken a few steps ahead of the body. And if that's the case, then each dream is not just a journey into the subconscious, but a message from somewhere else, from a world we may have forgotten, but once belonged to. History has witnessed dreams so haunting, so vivid, that they seem to defy all logic, dreams in which people appear to have seen the future before it ever arrived. These are not blurry impressions or vague emotions. They are crystal-clear visions, rich in detail of places, times, and events, as if the dreamer had accidentally stepped into a reel of the future, mistakenly played in the past. One of the most chilling stories comes from Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. In the final days of his life, he confided in close friends and family about a disturbing dream. He saw a solemn funeral taking place inside the White House. When he asked a nearby soldier who had died, the man replied coldly, "The president, he was assassinated." Just days later, This dream came true in the most tragic way. Lincoln was shot at Ford's Theater, becoming the first U.S. president ever assassinated. His prophetic dream cast a shadow over the fate that awaited him. In England, a middle-aged woman awoke in the middle of the night in a state of panic. She had just experienced a terrifyingly vivid nightmare. A plane crashing directly into her garden and exploding into flames. The sensation was so real, she immediately told her family the next morning, but no one took her seriously. Days later, just as in her dream, a military aircraft lost control and crashed near her garden. The entire neighborhood was left stunned by the eerie accuracy of her vision. And then came 2001. After the global shock of the 9/11 tragedy, hundreds of people from different parts of the world began sharing a chilling truth. Days or even weeks before the event, they had dreamed of planes crashing into towers, of deafening explosions, thick black smoke, and terrified screams echoing through chaos. When those scenes became real on global television, they were left in cold silence. At the time, no one paid much attention to their stories, but in the aftermath, those dreams came to be known as delayed prophecies, mysterious and beyond explanation. Of course, many scientists argued that these were nothing more than coincidences. With millions of dreams happening across the planet every night, a few aligning with reality was statistically possible. But can every coincidence be explained so simply, especially when these dreams describe exact details? The location, the sequence of events, the timing, and the aftermath. The odds of such precision seem almost impossible. And so, the question continues to echo in the human soul. Are dreams merely the brain's way of cleaning up during deep sleep? Or is there something more, a part of the soul's unconscious, that can cross the boundary of time and touch what has not yet come to pass? Perhaps, in sleep, as we let go of our physical reality, human consciousness reaches out to touch the threads of destiny, a realm where time is no longer linear, but a web of infinite possibilities. Stories like these, seemingly scattered and anecdotal, continue to resurface again and again, like fragments of a larger puzzle. A mystery we've only just begun to understand, one we call dreams and destiny. And perhaps tonight, somewhere in the world, someone is dreaming of a future the rest of us have yet to witness. If the soul truly exists as a non-physical entity beyond the biological confines of the body, then perhaps it is not bound by space and time in the same way our physical form is. In daily life, we are trapped in the linear flow of time, where the present is a fleeting point suspended between a vanished past and an unseen future. But if we could listen more deeply, feel more profoundly, could there be a part of us, the pure, untethered soul, already living in another dimension, where past, present, and future are no longer separate? For thousands of years, many ancient philosophies and spiritual traditions have spoken of this with reverent awe. Taoism teaches that each person is a microcosm inseparably linked to the greater universe, where the soul can travel freely between visible and invisible realms. In deep meditative states, Taoist sages are said to leave the body and observe other layers of existence, where time is no longer the absolute ruler. Similarly, Hindu philosophy introduces the concept of Atman, the eternal, indestructible soul that transcends death and rebirth. It teaches that every soul carries the memory of countless lifetimes. And through deep meditation, practitioners may access layers of reality beyond space and time, perceiving events that have not yet occurred, as though they were already lived. In Gnosticism, a mystical branch of Western philosophy dating back to antiquity, there is a profound belief that the material world is merely an illusion, a veil covering the eternal truth. According to the Gnostics, the soul does not truly belong to this physical realm. It originates from a higher dimension, a pure reality, untouched by the constraints of time. In that place, time does not flow, it exists, like a symphony where every note plays at once. The future is simply a part of the melody we haven't yet heard. From this perspective, the future is not something that doesn't exist, but rather a blueprint already drawn, like an architectural design that predates the laying of every brick. In our waking life, we're limited, confined by the senses, logic, and linear awareness, and thus unable to see the blueprint. But when we sleep, when consciousness falls silent in deep dream states, or When we enter deep hypnosis and descend into the layers of the unconscious, perhaps the subconscious slips, wandering through the corridors of unopened time, catching a glimpse of fragments still approaching. Some modern researchers have given this phenomenon a name: chronesthesia, the ability to mentally travel through time. It's no longer just a mystical idea, but a deeper layer of consciousness, a sophisticated function of the human mind that we have yet to fully understand. According to this theory, consciousness may be capable of sensing temporal landmarks beyond the present, much like a blind person might sense light through changes in temperature or the feel of the air. So then, when sleep carries us far from the noise of waking life, when the mind becomes still as calm as a mirror-like lake in deep hypnosis or dreaming, is it in that silence that we unknowingly open a door, where the present and future quietly meet? And if that is true, then prophetic dreams are no longer just coincidences, but messages, gentle whispers from the soul itself, sent back to the body, still trapped in the illusion of the now. Perhaps what we call intuition, a strange feeling or a vivid dream, is nothing more than a memory from the future, a path our soul has already walked. If one day you dream of something strange, a place you've never been, a face completely unfamiliar, a string of haunting symbols with no clear meaning, what would you do? Would you write it down, pause and reflect, or simply shake your head and dismiss it as a meaningless illusion, letting it fade away with the morning mist? The inner world of the human soul is deeper than any ocean, and dreams are the small magical doors that open into that mysterious dimension. They are not just echoes of scattered memories, nor simply the result of bioelectric signals in the brain. At a deeper level, dreams are messages, signals from the soul, a voice we rarely hear amid the noise of daily life. Imagine each dream as a fragment of forgotten script, strange symbols, surreal landscapes, or that oddly familiar feeling upon waking. All of it is a kind of encrypted code, waiting to be understood. This is the language of the soul, a wordless, illogical, but profoundly honest tongue that speaks more truth than any spoken language ever could. If you've ever dreamed of a recurring image, a haunting number, a strange room, or a scene that jolted you awake in the middle of the night with a racing heart, please don't ignore it. It might be a warning, it might be guidance, and sometimes it's simply a reminder that you're drifting away from yourself and it's time to return. Here's a piece of advice. Start with one small but powerful act. Write down your significant dreams. Don't let them slip away like fine sand through your fingers. Record even the bizarre details, the unfamiliar emotions, the images you can't yet explain, because what seems meaningless today might become tomorrow's revelation. Let your curiosity lead the way. Learn to listen in silence, because in the moments when your mind hesitates at a crossroads, your soul may already know the path. Sometimes a dream can save you from a tragedy. Sometimes it's the only light in a moment of complete darkness. A dream, by its very nature, is a small, quiet lantern lighting the way through the vast shadows of life. The question isn't whether dreams are real. The question is, are you quiet enough to see the light they shine? In a world where logic and reason are celebrated as the ultimate measures of truth, we often dismiss what is vague, unexplainable, or beyond the reach of science. Yet sometimes it is precisely these mysterious fragments, the pieces that don't quite fit, that carry the deepest truths. To the rational mind, dreams may seem like nothing more than faded images drifting through the night as the brain takes out the trash. But to one who listens with the heart and soul, a dream can be a doorway, fragile yet magical, into another layer of reality where truth exists without needing logic. Perhaps prophetic dreams are not subconscious accidents, but sacred intersections where time folds and dimensions whisper. A soft, mysterious voice trying to speak to you in the language of the soul, a language without words, without form, only feeling. In that reality, the future is not something yet to come. It is a space already present, running parallel, just waiting for you to step into it, to feel it, to reach it, not with your eyes, but with your consciousness. And now, the question is for you. Have you ever dreamed of the future? A dream that sent chills down your spine when it came true? An image, a sign, a strange symbol whose true meaning only made sense after it happened? Have you ever ignored a dream, only to look back and wish you had listened more closely. Share your story in the comments, because perhaps your dream is the key, the light that will guide someone else through their own maze. In this ever-shifting world, every sincere story becomes a bridge connecting kindred souls, those still quietly searching for signs from the dream world or from the depths of their own being. A dream is not simply what you see while you sleep. Sometimes, a dream is your soul awake, waiting for you to listen. If this video brought you something to reflect on, hit like to support this journey of spiritual exploration. Leave a comment. What dream has haunted you the most? Because who knows, your story might help someone else feel a little less lost in the maze of unexplained dreams. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the journeys to come, where together we'll explore the soul, memory, and the mysteries beyond the visible world. Remember, sometimes what you see in a dream isn't just imagination. It's a memory of the future waiting for you to remember it.